Definitely an interesting class talking about credit. So if you got people that want to know about credit, go ahead and tell them to get into the class. All right. Cool. So everybody should be able to hear me loud and clear. So like I said, this is going to be just an intro to credit, and it's just going to be talking about, like what credit is, and then also how your credit score is calculated. All right. So I'm not gonna lollygag or nothing. We're just gonna go ahead and get right into it. So credit, it basically refers to the ability to pay, or the ability for a borrower to access money or to borrow money to access goods and services, with the understanding that you'll pay for those later. And so essentially it's money paid for money. All right. So when you borrow, you're entering into a credit agreement, which includes terms for repayment, including an interest or fees. And then credit is crucial really for many financial transactions, from taking out loans, mortgages, to qualifying for credit cards and other lines of credit. And so you just know that essentially what it comes down to is credit is money paid for money. So that's really what credit is. All right. So I'm going to talk about how your credit score is actually calculated. So many people, they have some different reasons or different thought processes on how your credit is calculated, but I'm going to give it to you straight from the credit bureaus on how they calculate your credit score. All right. So your credit score, everyone knows it's a numerical representation of your credit worthiness. And it comes down to 5 things. It's your payment history, the amounts that you have owed, the length of credit history, so the length, then your credit mix, and also new credit. So your payment history makes up 35% of your score. 35% of your score, your credit score, is based off of your payment history. 30% of your credit score is based off of the amounts owed. And so this refers to the total amount of credit you're using compared to your credit limit. And this is sort of when they talk about the credit utilization rate. So the lower utilization rate is better for your score, typically under 30%. So what we try to always recommend people is stay with 10 to 20% credit utilization. You don't really want to get too high. All right, the next thing is length of credit history. So length of credit history, 15% of your score is based off the length of your credit history. So you want to keep some type of account that has a long credit history length. All right. So the longer, the better. Then the credit mix is 10% of your score. And I was finding this thing, it said that lenders like to see a variety of credit types, using things like credit cards, installment loans, mortgages. Having different types of credit can positively affect your score. All right. So you want to have a mix of credit, different types of credit. And then also new credit is 10% of your score. So I found this thing. It said opening multiple new accounts in a short period of time can lower your score, as it suggests a higher risk to lenders. And then it says that each time you apply for new credit, a hard inquiry is made, which can temporarily reduce your score. So you want to not do so many new things all the time. Basically, just keep long accounts open for a long period of time. And then you want to make sure that if you are going to do some new credit, do like once a year. Don't do too many in 1 year. All right. So, all right. So then we got the different types, or the different credit bureaus. So the different credit bureaus, you got Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Those are the three credit bureaus. All right. So Equifax is like one of the oldest credit bureaus, and Experian is out of Ireland, and then TransUnion is out of Chicago. All right. So these three are the major credit bureaus, and these are the ones who actually that everybody reports to when it comes to credit. And essentially what they do is they each bureau collects data on your credit history, and then also they calculate your credit score, and they provide information in regards to your credit. All right. So what are some ways that you can start to increase your score? Because a lot of people, they want to know, all right, that's cool and all, like that's nice that I know how my score is calculated, I know what credit is, and then I also know the credit bureaus, but how can I actually increase my score? So number one, if you pay your bills on time, your score is going to start to come up. All right. If you start to reduce your credit card balances, it's going to start to make your score go up. If you increase your credit limits, so if you get higher credit limits, that's also going to improve your score. If you keep old accounts for long periods of time, that's going to increase your score. And then if you don't apply for new credit too frequently, that's also going to improve your score. Make your credit mix, try to have different types of credit. That's also going to improve your score. If you see that there's some errors on your credit report, try to get those things fixed. It is very difficult. Let me stress this. It is extremely difficult to get certain bureaus to answer the phone. I'm not gonna lie to you. It takes forever, but it's worth it if you're trying to get your credit score to go up. All right. Use a secured credit card if you need to. Like if you don't have credit, then you probably need to start with a secured credit card. And a secured credit card, remember, that's when you add cash to a card, and then over usually about 6 months, the credit card company will send your money back, and then you'll keep a credit line on your credit card. Keep low balances on revolving credit. So you want to try to keep those balances as low as possible. Settle debts and negotiate with creditors. So if you got debts with creditors, try to make sure that you settle those as quickly as possible. And the last one, you can use Experian Boost. I've never used Experian Boost, but you can use Experian Boost. And it says there's one thing about Experian Boost. It said that some services like Experian Boost allow you to add utility and phone bill payments to your credit report, which can improve your score if you're responsible with those payments. So that's a way that you can. But essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to up your credit limits as fast as possible. Like try to make sure that you're not just sitting with the average, $2,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 credit limits. You want to try to get up there where you're starting to look at, $100,000 limits. But you're trying to, you want to increase your credit limits, right? Even, down the road when you start getting into real estate, really trying to get into those, 400,000, 500,000, like it's out there. You can get very high. These institutions, they will give you credit lines. You just got to make sure that you got enough equity. And we'll talk about that later on down the road on what is equity. and all that type of stuff. And when we get into real estate, it will really start to make sense. But I just want this video is mainly just basics of what credit is. This is, I feel like this is very powerful. People need to know what this stuff is. But yeah, just go back in the beginning of the video and you'll see we literally talked about what is credit. We talked about what is a credit score. We also talked about how the credit score is calculated, and then what are the credit bureaus, and we also talked about ways to improve your score. So just this video alone, if you were having issues with your credit and you were having problems when it comes to your credit, you can go back on this video and this will actually help you to fix up a lot of your credit issues. You do not have to go to a credit repair company. All right. You just need to go on this video. You just need to go back and watch this video and say, okay, like if I'm having issues with my credit, have I been paying my bills on time? Right. How much do I owe? Can I bring that down a little bit? Is my credit history long enough? Have I been able to keep my credit history? Do I have long credit accounts, or am I just closing them? Because that's what a lot of people do. Don't lie. You know what I mean? People try to cut their credit cards and just get rid of it. No, man, like you need to keep your credit history as long as possible. Do I have a good credit mix? Is my mix of credit good or not? Then also, do I have too many new credits, like new credit inquiries? Am I going to the bank every single week trying to get, or every other bank trying to get a new account? No, bro, like don't do that. So just go back over this video and you can see exactly what I talked about. So once again, we're just going to talk about it. We said what was credit? It's basically money paid for money. It's the ability for you to borrow money to access goods and services. All right, that's what credit is. We talked about how credit, or what this credit score is basically a numerical representation of your credit worthiness, right? And it's factored by a lot of different things, and it ranges from 300 to 850. If you are sitting at a 400, you got problems, right? So you don't want that. You want to try to get at least to like high 600s, definitely in the seven. You really want to get in the 700s, bro. Like you really want to get in the 700s so that way you can actually access a lot of different things. We talked about how your credit score is calculated. So we talked about that the credit score, there's 5 areas where your credit score is calculated. It's payment history, amounts owed, length of credit history, your credit mix, and then the new credit. Okay. Payment history is 35%. Amounts owed is 30%. Length of credit history is 15%. Credit mix is 10%, and new credit is 10% of your score. Like that's how it is. Everybody else telling you something is not. That's not what it is. That is literally off of the credit bureaus. That's exactly what they're telling you, is that's how they calculate the score. That's it. Yeah, so then, and another thing, it says these factors are combined by credit bureaus like Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion to generate a FICO score or Vantage score, the most common scoring models used by lenders. All right. And then we also talked about the credit bureaus, which are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And we talked about those and where they're located and where they're from. And then lastly, we talked about ways to increase your score. All right, which was paying your bills on time, reduce credit card balances, increase your credit limits, don't close old credit amounts, avoid credit accounts, avoid applying for new credit frequently, diversify your credit mix, check your credit reports for errors, use a second credit card, right, if needed, or a secured credit card if needed. And remember, a secured credit card is a credit card where you put money on the card, and then 6 months later, the credit card company will send you your money back, and you'll keep a credit limit at that institution. And then keep low balances on revolving credit, settle debts, and negotiate with creditors. And then lastly, use Experian Boost if you want to. or similar programs like that. And remember, Experian Boost allows you to add utility and phone bill payments to your credit report. So that's it. That's what, in a nutshell, that's the intro to credit. All right. Now, in the next videos, if you feel that this is valuable information, let me know. You can put it in the comment section below. If you would like to know strategies on how to utilize credit to increase your net worth, let me know that in the comment section below. We can get into that. If you have questions on credit right now, go ahead and put that in the comments. Like if there's some things that you got that's on your chest, you can go ahead and put that in the comments. And if y'all think that this is valuable stuff, I mean, some people, y'all might know everything about credit. I just feel that, yeah, when I look at our communities and we're not really building too much and we're not doing there's not too many new businesses, it just makes me feel that people really don't know about credit, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, most people, they feel that they gotta save every penny to make it happen, and really, you really don't. That doesn't mean that you borrow your way, going crazy or nothing like that. I'm just saying that there are some ways that you can expedite getting somewhere when it comes to your building your net worth. So what questions do y'all got? Oh, got you. Like to see a discussion on interest rates too. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Let's see. Great free knowledge on personal. Yeah, man. Hey, doing our best. I just, I feel like everybody always says that they knew better, they would do better. So hopefully, this is just free information, free game that y'all can, you can use. Definitely go back and watch the video. And if there's anything that, I messed up on, please, put it in the comments and try to correct me. But everything that I got was pretty much straight off the credit bureau's websites. So it's exactly how they're saying is how they're calculating everything. But as far as for interest rates, yeah, let's do that. I think, so would you like to know, okay, so credit card rates versus bank loans versus payday. Oh, okay. That's different. Okay. Yeah. Let me write that down right now. And that we can talk about that on the next video. Let's see. So credit rates versus bank rates, bank loans versus payday loans. Yeah, I honestly feel that like credit card rates, most people, so credit card rates and payday loans, they look like loan sharks. Right? They look like loan sharks on the surface, because you look at it where a payday loan, it could be 18, 24%, it's not unheard of. And then you got credit card rates that can be the same as well. About, 18 or so, 16 to 18%. So most people, they think that they're the same. The thing about credit cards that most people don't think about is that credit cards, you have a revolving credit line. And so that's also very powerful, is the fact that it's a credit line. And credit lines, you can do a lot with a credit line. And then also you got to think about the actual rate, the interest rate itself. So bank loans, so Without going too far in depth, a bank loan, as most people know, is like a closed loop loan. So when you put money in a loan, in a bank loan, you can't get that money back out. Like, you have to actually, there's ways to do this, but when you're putting money into a bank loan, like a mortgage, or say you got a loan for a car or something, when you put the money into that loan, you can't access that money again. That money is in that institution, and you had to pay the interest, and that's how it goes. A credit line, especially like a revolving credit line, you can access that capital over and over and over again. Payday loans is the same deal as the car, or say a mortgage. You just have to pay these people. So that's why payday loans, I think that's legit loan sharking. And I'm not saying anything bad about the people that do that type of business. But if you're saying that you can take 18 to 20% off of somebody into a closed loop product, and they can't access that capital again, man, I don't know how you sleep well at night. I don't know how you sleep well at night, to be honest. I don't. Because you know that somebody that uses a payday loan, they'll never be able, really, people will hardly ever be able to get out of that cycle. It's super hard. You got to be very focused, very dedicated to get out of that type of a cycle. A mortgage is pretty much the same deal, though. But the one thing about a mortgage is at least in America, the interest rates have at least been less than 10% historically, right? So mortgage loans should be around, on average, I'm not talking about 5 years ago or 3 years ago when you could get 2% or 3%. I'm talking about on average should be around 6, like five, let's just say 5.25% to about 7 should be the average rate. That's the real rate of how things should go. So, so a mortgage is a closed loop product. So when you put money into a mortgage and they get you for 30 years, you're paying these people for 30 years. And you know that when you get a mortgage, and people don't like to hear this, but when you get a mortgage, you know that you're going to pay the bank. The bank is going to get 2 houses off of you. Yeah, it's the truth. Like, the bank is about to get 2 houses off of you. Like, you're going to pay for your house, and then you're going to pay for 2 houses for the bank. Like, if you got a $300,000 mortgage, guaranteed, you're probably going to pay like at least I don't know, over 30 years of time, you're going to be paying at least another house for the bank. Like, you're definitely going to pay for sure 1.5 times, like, double. You're going to pay for at least 2 houses. You're going to pay for your house and the bank's house. Yeah. So, and that's a closed loop product. Refinancing auto loans worth it. Okay, so man, y'all getting me. All right, so auto loans. Me personally, I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay, I do not advise anybody to get a loan for a depreciating thing. Okay, so I honestly feel that cars, you should always buy cash, or you should get a lease. And I really don't advise people to get a lease, but I don't advise people to buy cars with credit. I just don't. So to the question, are refinancing auto loans worth it? I feel like you should just save up money and buy cash. And here's why I say this, okay? Because we talked about buying assets just a few days ago. You always want to put money into things that appreciate in value, and or that put money in your pocket. And that's what Rich Dad Poor Dad book was about by Robert Kiyosaki. It's buying assets. And when you buy assets, that they put money in your pocket. Well, a car, the minute that you buy a car and you take it off the lot, that thing goes down in value. The minute I'm talking about, the minute you put the key, you hadn't even put the key in the ignition. I'm talking about putting the key in the door. And I know some people don't have no keys to go in the door, but so the minute that you push unlock on your car to get in that thing, yeah, I know that they got the push to starts and everything, but the minute that you go into your car, that car is going to depreciate in value. Trust me. I'm telling you, it does. So for that reason, I would tell you to never buy a car with credit. I know that goes against everything. Hey, what's going on, Dakota? Good seeing you, brother. I know that goes against everything that people have to say when it comes to credit, but I'm telling you, dude, in my personal opinion, this is not financial advice. I'm just saying I would not buy a car with credit. I would save up my money and buy a beater car first. Like if you have to buy a car with credit, I would just save up my money to buy a beater, and like a $2,000, $3,000 car, and then save up your money for a year. You don't got to do it for a long time. Keep saving up your money until you got like another $3,000, and then you trade in that $3,000 car with your other $3,000 that you got cash, and now you got a $6,000 car. All right. Oh yeah, man, don't do it. Trust me. Take the car back. Like I said, it's not financial advice. I would just always buy cash. Look, I got a Hyundai Elantra 2008, and bought it cash right off the lot. And I go to Firestone. Shouts out to Firestone off of Normandy. I go to Firestone, and that's what I do. And hey, it works out for me, and they take care of everything. And yeah, I don't even know how to change oil. I don't. But hey, look, I ain't got a payment, and so now think about this. For all y'all that been having payments on cars, what's the average payment on a car? What, $500? $500 a month, right? So it's 2008. What's that? 10, it's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 16 years. So for 16 years, I haven't had a car payment. Now you do the math on that. So for 16 years, I've been able to put that $500 into an investment. And let's just say it's an index fund getting me like 8%. Here, I'll do the math on you real quick. I got you. Just hang tight. I got you. Don't go nowhere. Let me see. Money Chimp. If y'all ever wanted to do, if you wanted to do a calculation on an investment, he said insurance and all, I pay a little under $1,000. Yeah. Oh shoot. That's crazy. That's a lot of money, Dakota. All right. So let's just say I start off with $500. I'm not going to use that 1,000 for the, I'm not going to use that 1,000. Let's just say, all right. So 500 and then 500 every month for 12 months. That's $6,000 a year, right? So $6,000 a year. Let's just say that. So we said it was 16 years, and the interest that the New York Stock Exchange brings in for the stock market is about 8%. All right. So this is all coming down to the refinance and auto loans question. That is $198,214.33. That's just if you put it in the market, you didn't do nothing besides put that $500 away, you have $198,000 from the time that I bought it off the lot. Now, I don't know no regular car. Like, most people ain't, You ain't buying no. Come on, man. You ain't buying no $200,000 car, right? Most people buying like a $20,000 car or something like that, bro. I would just get a beater, and then stack up your bread over time. I would never buy a car with credit. It's just not. It's not smart. I'm not saying that. Let me rephrase what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if I was in a bad financial straits that I wouldn't buy a car with credit. Okay, if I needed to get to work, there's levels, right? All I'm saying is that if you know that you can get to work and you have a job and you have a car, like, I would just take the car back. I would take the car back and I would get me a beater. But like I said, it's not financial advice. You do what you do. But I would definitely not have a payment close to $1,000 when I had the opportunity to invest that over time. All right, that's just me. That's just me. But we can go into that at a later date. But see, Joel, he got on here and he said some stuff and then he dipped. he got me started. But yo, this is the type of stuff that I love to do. What other questions do y'all got before I dip off? I don't want to hold this too long. If y'all appreciated this type of content, if y'all appreciated this information, please put a thumbs up on this video. Also tell a friend to tell a friend. This is all for y'all. It's completely free. We're not charging nobody nothing. This is just so that way Baker County, all of our folks in Baker County are getting smarter, wealthier every single day. This is for everybody that's out here, and anybody that's associated with the movement with Shoot the Jab. So this is just for y'all to be better. Well, it's for all of us. Now I don't say y'all, it's for all of us to be better, to have a prosperous year in 2024. So, and don't take anything that I'm saying as a shot at anybody. I truly want everybody to be successful and have a great year. So, all right, I don't see anything here, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. I really appreciate y'all again. Said if my total with interest is $22,000 and that's my payment, is it still a bad investment? Yeah, I just don't feel that, to be honest, I don't feel that cars are investments, because once again, a car, you have to pay. Okay, it's like the ultimate not investment. What I mean, like, and I don't even like my car. I mean, I like my car, but I just don't. You got to think about what an asset is. An asset, when you're talking about an investment, an asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A car, you have to put gas in it. You have to put oil in it. You have to rotate the tires. You got to get transmission fluid. You got to, even the bug cleaner and stuff. It's just a lot of stuff that you got to do for the car. Maintenance, like brakes and all that type of stuff, and shocks and stuff. So it's just, to me, it's just not worth it. It's not. If you stacked up the money and you first got a beater, and then you'll be a lot happier because you'll have some money in your pocket. And I know some people, they'll say, well, if I get a beater, then I'm going to have to spend money on fixing it up. Yeah, you probably will. But here's the deal with that. You'll have money to do that with it. You know what I'm saying? You'll actually have money there to do that. And I highly recommend going to Firestone. I go to Firestone off of Normandy. They will give you all the recommendations of what you need in order to get your car up and running and to be smooth and good to go. I got a truck. The truck was nothing. It was bare bones, the whole nine. And we took it over there. They basically built it all up. Them and Amoco, they built it from nothing. And also shouts out to my dudes out here in Baker. They actually was the ones who put the transmission in. But other than that, that truck was built from ground up, and now Firestone just maintains it. So, yeah, that's just my recommendation. It's my recommendation. I just wouldn't get a loan for a car. So yes, as far as if my total with interest is 22,000. Me personally, and you say, is it still a bad investment? Me personally, yes. And I'm just telling you as your brother, I'm telling you that I would take it back. I would take the car back, and I would get my cash, and I would get me a beater. And I guarantee you, if you take the money that you're spending every month on that car, and you got you a beater, and you put the rest of the money into an investment account for you and your future self and your family, you'll come out way better, and you're gonna thank yourself. You don't have to thank me. Just you're gonna thank yourself for making that decision, and you're gonna live really nice. Because you think about it, $1,000. Here, let's just do the math real quick. $1,000, that's 12 grand. That's 12 grand a year, right? So 12 grand, and you're gonna put $12,000 a year. And let's just say it's not gonna be the full 12 grand because you're still gonna have to buy another car, right? No. Okay. So as far as messing up your credit, so check this out. All right, So when we just talked about credit. So let's go back to that. So this is what they said as far as your credit. Your credit comes down to payment history. So if you didn't like not pay, like as long as you paid and then you just took it back, you said, "Hey, look, okay, if you're brand new, like I know Dakota, you know what I'm saying? He's younger. He's a young man. He's not 80 years old. So like in his case, he's got plenty of time to build back his payment history. He got way more payment history than I ever had when I was, 19 years old. So don't worry about that part. But payment history, did you pay it on time? Yes. Okay, then you can take it back. Then amounts owed. Your amount owed. Hey, you can take some of that money and actually buy, say, a rental property, or just buy a property for yourself. Like say buy a trailer or something. You don't have to buy, or a piece of land. You can borrow on that. That's going to go up in value or appreciate in value, especially out here. Like in Florida, if you live in Florida right now and you don't have some type of piece of property like land or something, that's what you should be taking your money in. Like I said, it's not financial advice, but that's what I would put my money into, especially in Florida. Because the coastlines are depreciating. There's no, like, the coastline is coming farther and farther in. That means there's less and less land. That means the property here in Florida is going up and up. Plus, on top of that, all the people from New York and California, they've moved here. They have moved here. Like a lot of the people that didn't want to be, especially during COVID, did you know that Florida became the third most populated state through COVID? It used to be California, Texas, California, Texas, then New York, then Florida. But Florida overtook New York because so many people left from New York and also the Northeast, that upper Northeast, and came down to Florida during COVID. So the property values are going bonkers out here. So that's what I would be. If I was going to be borrowing something, I'll be borrowing off a piece of property. That's what I would do. But anyway, your credit. So how your credit score, payment history, amounts owed, length of credit history, credit mix, and new credit. It's not going to mess up your credit, man. Like it in the short term. Okay, you might take some points or whatever like that, but you can get that back. You get a secured credit card from Discover. You're going to get it right back. It's not going to be crazy. Trust me. But like I said, it's not financial advice. I'm just saying that you got plenty of time to get that stuff back. That's the main reason I went the route I was build my credit. Yeah, but there's other ways to build your credit. There just is. And especially there's just better ways. And one of the better ways is, like I said, getting property, getting actual assets, things that appreciate in value. Don't go into debt just to go into debt. Go into debt by getting something that goes up in value and it can pay you along the way. like I said, not financial advice. But hey, I thank y'all so much for today. This was a great class. If y'all like this type of stuff going back and forth and the way that it was going, please put thumbs up and whatever, and tell a friend to tell a friend. I just want to say I really do appreciate y'all. Plus, I just want to give a shout out to Faith Bible Church for yesterday, and also the Red Cross. The Red Cross, and also the emergency preparedness part for Baker, the Baker Sheriff's Department. They actually came out, and Officer Dennis, they came out and they brought a gang of food up here to Sanderson. I'm talking about a lot of food and preparedness water and all types of stuff. And whenever y'all see the Sheriff's Department, or you see anybody from Faith Bible Church, or you see anybody from the Red Cross, just go ahead and give them a hug and say thank you, for looking out for Sanderson, because nobody else was doing that, but the Baker County Sheriff's Department did, and the Red Cross did, and the people from Faith Bible Church did. And that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people got blessed yesterday. Just, they got like, people's cars were full of food and water and different drinks and stuff like that. So yeah, non-alcoholic drinks. Yes. So good stuff for them. Just want to say that, because that's a big blessing to the community. So I really appreciate that. So with that being said, as always, I just want to leave y'all with peace and many blessings. Hope y'all have a blessed one.